What is betrayal? Betrayal is the breaking or violation of a presumptive contract, trust, or confidence that produces moral and psychological conflict within a relationship amongst individuals and organizations. In Othello by William Shakespeare, Iago performs such an act, but not with just anyone. This act of betrayal was performed against his own friends. Rodrigo, Cassio, Othello, and soon enough himself were victims of this betrayal because of certain lies that arose, leading to conflicts that would soon make Iago lose trust in everyone, including himself.
In his acts of betrayal, Iago decides to betray Rodrigo, whom gave him his trust and convinced him that he can win Desdemona's love. Iago was alone with Rodrigo, and Rodrigo was now in despair of winning Desdemona's love, threatened suicide, but Iago persuades him instead to sell his lands for ready cash and to pursue Desdemona to Cyprus. Iago has put his plan into progress and got Rodrigo into believing that he was going to help him with Desdemona's love. Iago did all this not to help out a friend, but for his own personal benefit. Soon enough, Iago put his plot into action, persuades Rodrigo that Desdemona is in love with Cassio, and that Rodrigo should help get Cassio dismissed from the lieutenancy. Iago keeps convincing Rodrigo more and more with lies. Not only does Iago betray Rodrigo, but he soon enough betrays Cassio.
His passion for destroying Othello makes him realize that he could not do it all by himself. He had to use other people such as Rodrigo and Cassio just to achieve his purpose to get to Othello, without Othello knowing it was really him. Getting to Rodrigo was really easy, but getting Cassio to fall into his trap was going to be a little bit harder. In order to achieve Cassio's downfall, Iago had to betray Cassio by making him lose his job as lieutenant and making him desperate to gain it back. With his witty words and his knowledge of the lieutenant's role to fulfill, Iago persuades Cassio into drinking. Iago uses Cassio's actions to achieve his purpose in destroying Cassio. As Iago talked behind Cassio's back, Iago achieved his goal in making everyone lose trust in Cassio, making him desperate to regain his reputation, leading Cassio to ask Desdemona for help. He not only betrayed Cassio, but his supposed good friend Othello.
Iago then decides to betray his main target, Othello, and he does this by trying to find a way to use Desdemona's love against him. Iago begins to plot to himself how he may use Othello's marriage to get back at Othello and to get Cassio's place as lieutenant. So, Iago begins to plan out his revenge by thinking how he can make Othello miserable and using his weakness against him. The next step in Iago's plan to tell Othello that Desdemona supports Cassio because Cassio is her lover. Iago is tricking Othello into hearing lies about Desdemona and knows that Othello will believe him. Iago knows that Othello is too familiar with his wife, which led to him filling Othello's ears with lies. Iago betrayed Othello, but soon his betrayal turned against himself.
In Othello, Iago performs the biggest act of betrayal when he decides to betray himself. Iago had become so caught up in trying to ruin other people's lives that he didn't realize he was losing himself in the process. This being an act of betrayal because he was losing his identity and he was losing who he was before he began to allow vengeance seeking to take over his life. Not only was he betraying himself by losing himself, but also because he was allowing his happiness to be robbed away from him. Iago had no proof as to explain if the lies framing Othello and his other friends were real. He was basing it off of pure rumors. Allowing lies to take over his life would make him lose his family, reputation, and the rest of his identity. Iago decides to betray Rodrigo for his own success, Cassio for his job, Othello for vengeance, and soon himself, which led to conflicts that would soon make him lose trust in everyone, including himself. In the end of it all, his acts of betrayal caused deaths, and for his own life to be ruined, because everything has to be discovered at some point. Iago no longer was seen as the innocent, loyal friend and protector, but as a sneaky snake that could ruin you at any given moment. Iago once thought that reputation didn't matter, but his reputation was what led to his future downfall.